Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about a role that didn't really exist 12 months ago, but I believe is going to be growing and is going to be one of the most important roles within a corporate career that you could train for and be that person in the career. And so that career, in my opinion, is going to be the AI person in your company. And so I was previously working briefly in BCG, just at the time when ChatGPT came out back in 2022. And even at that time, BCG already launched a department that was focusing directly on AI. And so a lot of people were able to join that department directly and then be AI certified or the person who understands AI well. And I've seen over the last couple of years, many other companies kind of catching up to this trend of having an internal employee that they call an internal hero who understands AI really well and is able to support other people with. And a lot of companies have been saying that there are going to be a lot of layoffs related to AI, but I think what's more realistic is that one person will be able to do the work of 3 to 4 to maybe 5 people even, because they use the two pillars where AI is strong, which is data analytics and reporting, and then automations and workflows. And so if someone is good at that and internally known to be the AI person, I think it is the best time to do that within your organization, because I think that person will get a fast lane to promotions and all kinds of other benefits. And they will just become a very important part of the organization, which will probably help you, be protected against any layoffs. And another thing is that everyone assumes that the safe AI career is to become the builder and the best builder in AI. And I think there is some truth to that, but it's very difficult to become one of the best builders. I mean, there are agencies out there. There are a ton of agencies who are terrible builders. I'm not saying that most of them are great, but there are agencies who have legit credibility and they will always be better in building. But I think where there is a very legit value that you can create within the organization is to be the AI person that is the internal champion. And so, for example, whenever we would work with clients, we always require them to have one person from the department who is their internal AI champion, who we keep contact with most of the times, and who is the first person of contact for us. And that person will communicate with their department or maybe even other departments or the executive teams and gives, updates on how the project is going and why we are doing things. And I think it's a very synergistic combination of the two roles, because most of the companies are going to be hiring an AI agency who will help build out all those automations and reporting. But if you are the person who is the internal AI champion, it's more like an analogy between the doctor and the pharmacist. And the pharmacist is the people who hand you what you ask for, which is usually the builders or the outside people. But the doctor is the person who will find really the issue and prescribes what the pharmacist will have to give to you. And because you're inside the organization, you have a very unique position to see a much better picture than any outside AI consultants on what is needed inside the organization, what needs to be automated, what actually doesn't need to be automated, because it would be just a big amount of cost to automate and it doesn't worth it. And so you could be the person who essentially converts efficiency that is released by all these people who are building the AI tools, and to turn that efficiency into profit or cost saving or any sort of ROI. Because most of the times any agency will come in, they will probably not be able to directly convert tokens into profit. How we imagine it, or I imagine it, is that you have energy is converted into compute with intelligence, so essentially tokens, and then those tokens, essentially the intelligence, still needs to be converted into profit. But to do that, you first need to convert it into efficiency, what the outside builders will do. But I think internal champions will be super important to turn that efficiency into real ROI, profit, or cost saving. So if you want to become this person within the organization who is the internal AI champion, I think you need to do 4 things, and let me walk you through all of them. And so thing number 1 is to just audit your own job and just look at what you're doing every day and write down the tasks that you are working on. I think step 1 is to do it for yourself. As step 2, you can do it for your colleagues or people within your department. And so the interesting thing here, if you do it for 1 day or a full week, that you will find tasks that are just annoying and take a lot of hours. And so we usually call them low-hanging fruits, especially if they are easy to automate. So those are the things where you can get back efficiency. You can use a method of just writing down what you're doing, or you can use a free tool called Activity Monitor. You can find it on GitHub. You can put it on your computer, and it will monitor what your computer screen does. So that's also a very good way to do it. Then secondly, when you have the number of what you need to automate, then what you can do is to figure out ways to automate it. Most of them is going to be relatively simple or straightforward, so you can do it alone. Or if you can't do it alone, you can use the resources that your company give you, maybe the AI consultants that you have, to help you automate it. And what you need to do as step 2, the outcome here is that you write down that my weekly reporting took me 4 hours every Monday, but now after automating it, it only takes me 10 minutes. And so the amount of time saved here is 1 hour, 50 minutes. And so that is very powerful because that is a recurring number of hours saved every week. So you can say, okay, this month I saved this much. And so that's a huge impact on a yearly or even a 5-year basis, because you can just connect your hourly rate to it, and then you made it essentially a cost saving. Step number 3 is that you document everything on how you did it, and you will make it available for your team. So remember, now you have essentially what you've been doing before, because you monitored it and figured out what you were doing. Then you automated something with a specific result of how many hours that saved you. And now you go and make it public within your organizations that, hey, here are the tools I used, or here are the prompts that I was using. You can use it as well. And this saved me this many hours. And so you can even add a Loom video explaining how they can use it, or you can talk about it during lunch break, or whatever else. But so make everyone within your team know that you understand AI and that you can qualify results from AI. So after step 3, that you have a kind of a reputation of being the person who understands AI, step 4 would be to kind of graduate to formally being the AI champion. And so what you could be doing here is to formally offer it to your team leader or your direct boss that you understand AI really well. You have these quantifiable results. You already helped a couple of people also achieve these same results. And you would like to be the person who is the internal AI champion, who people come to when they need something to develop within the company. Or if you use outside consultants, you would like to be the person of contact. And most of the times, managers will really like this. I mean, they have a ton of pressure, especially middle managers from executives and then executives from the board to become an AI native company. And so they will be very happy that within the organization, people are offering to be this person. And so more than likely, you will be successful in getting the title of being the person who understands AI. And so just to close out with a couple of numbers, this isn't really hypothetical. A lot of companies are now interested in implementing AI in their business. I think IBM was doing this survey, but don't quote me on this exactly, but it was about a couple thousand CEOs. And I think it went from 20-something percentage saying that they want to become an AI native company, or that they need to put more AI into their operations back in 2022, 23, to about 76%, 70-something percent recently. And so it is a growing trend, especially for top executives, to have an AI agenda. And that pressure will go down into middle managers to have internal AI champions. And so this role is something new that's being created because a lot of people just haven't noticed it yet, but it doesn't mean that it's not legit. And something similar happened with starting AI agencies. I think that became quite crowded back in 24, but I think becoming the internal AI champion is the new thing in 2026. So I just hope you will catch that in time. That being said, thank you for watching the video. My name is Don Planner. I'm an ex-BCG consultant. I have my own AI agency. We work with clients and we work a lot with internal AI champions. And so I hope to work with you in the future soon. And if you have any questions, let me know. And also let me know what other videos you would be interested in. Thank you.